Hey everybody, okay, it's me again, Jennifer Baya, Jen Baya to my friends. So I've shared with you what I've learned about vitamin D, and also we've been talking a little bit about the 4 agreements on the YouTube channel Positive Living Jen Baya, with Jen Baya. And then we've been talking about my stroke, and I've been archiving my recovery with the stroke. I wanted to share with you guys some things that I had shared last year when I first found out. I have the right side of my brain is chronic hemorrhaging, and there's a lot of other things that are going on. I've got I had an MRI with contrast and then one without, and so that's where they discovered it, and then that was sent to Emory, where I'm being watched over by neuroscience, and so they're going to do a more in-depth study of what's actually causing my brain to hemorrhage. However, in my daily life up to the stroke, it did not affect me. I didn't notice anything. So I did want to share that with you, and I want to share the documents with you and my findings. So if you would, please know that I am healing, I am getting better, and the brain hemorrhaging, I do not believe had anything to do with the stroke. I honestly believe that the last round of antibiotics, I'm allergic to sulfa, which is in a lot of antibiotics, and I had switched pharmacies. There are a couple factors that came into play. The new pharmacy, which was a bigger pharmacy, I've been with a mom and pop place that we were on a first name basis, and that worked with me with the understanding, because they actually knew what was wrong with me. Well, the new pharmacy, I will be suing. They withheld my medication from me because I was new, and they withheld 2 medications that I have been taking for over 30 years, and both will cause a person to either have stroke or heart attack if they don't have. And so all of this is archived up into including where I videoed when I went in to get my prescriptions, what was being said to me and how I was being treated by this particular pharmacy. I'm not going to name names right now because of the lawsuit, but after I see the I've got a neurologist, neurosurgeon, and I'm involved with neuroscience. I have a family doctor, and then I've got a pain management doctor. I see a psychiatrist, and all of these. Every one of my doctors tried to get around CVS, but once they had my prescription, they wouldn't release it, as far as even giving me the physical prescription back to take it to another pharmacy. And this was done because they profiled me. I came in having pneumonia, and so and had lost a significant amount of weight, and they profiled me as a pill seeker, which is ridiculous because it was my prescription. So what the, you know, and then to make me wait an additional 9 days. So that was pivotal. And then also, my doctor, family doctor, was sick when I went in with pneumonia. And so the PA was writing prescriptions as far as the antibiotics. And I don't think that she looked at my file to note my allergies. And so the combination of those things, I think, is what brought on the stroke. I don't think it had anything to do with the hemorrhaging because, like I said, I've been functioning with it. According to the MRIs, that I have been functioning with the brain hemorrhage for probably 15 years. So why all of a sudden would it have created a problem? It may have, having the stroke caused further damage to the hemorrhaging. So I'm getting all this information together. I'm archiving everything, not only to share with you my testimony in believing in yourself and that what we're capable of doing and how powerful we are, but also archiving so that for my lawsuit that I've got all of this information as it went through. So anyhow, just wanted to throw that out there, and your prayers and your acts of kindness and selflessness, not only for me, but for all of the people that you guys are lifting up, really does create, it's like a swirl of, a flow of pure love. And I have yet to share with you my experience when I had the stroke, which enlightened me to this information. And I have every intention of, in detail, sharing with you my visits, if you will. I shared with like 3 people that I'm really close with, and one of the people said, "Oh, so now you're the vice president for God," and there's been a lot of doubt and people saying, "Oh, she didn't have a stroke." That is so much proof how riddled we are right now with evil. And if I didn't have thick skin and I didn't have the awareness and knowing that what I experienced was very real, those things would have actually really hurt me. But like I said in a previous video, I don't have anything to prove to anyone. Simply, I have a lot to share with everyone. So, sad that people actually were upset that I was regaining my use, and at a rapid rate from other stroke victims. But there's a reason. The hospital was so riddled with COVID patients that I had the stroke at the house. So by the time I got to the hospital, they were like, well, you've already had the stroke. And I felt I was handed a really raw deal because they were like, well, we need the beds for COVID patients. And looking back in retrospect, I'm very glad that I was able to give my bed to somebody that that needed it more. However, I felt I had been given physical therapy and all those things. But had I been kept in the hospital, and I would have been surrounded by people with COVID, for one. Two, I would have been in a sterile environment. Um, and with a stroke, it is imperative that you are in constant use of your functions. So being in my home and having to do things for myself, because I was by myself, um, I did have somebody that I could contact that would deliver food and, pick up my prescriptions and things like that. But for the majority, I was by myself during that whole thing. So I had to force myself to walk. I had to force myself to talk. I had to force myself to reach out. Some of you received some, really strange text messages from me during that time, asking for help. And I was surprised even then that the majority of the responses were, "You'll figure it out." And I just thought, wow, but I'm okay with that too, because I had to figure it out, which caused where I can feel exactly, there's like on this side and on the right side, the same side that has hemorrhaging, like about this big, that just feels like it's empty. And so my thoughts and memories were having to reroute themselves. So the mind is an amazing thing, and it did reroute. Um, there's still things every once in a while. I'll be at a loss for words. Yes, me, a little loss for words. Go figure. Um, and so, any case, I meant to make this a short video, but I'm going to show you all of the MRI findings. I'm going to share with you what was said and done and how all of this came to light, because because somebody that was being paid $9 an hour, maybe $10 an hour, decided to play God with my life by withholding my medication for no other reason than because of the way that I looked when I came in to the pharmacy. And I know I'm not the only one that this has happened to. Yes, there are people that are out there, seeking drugs and, that kind of thing. I have a prescription. One of the medications have been taken for over 30 years. That's not pill seeking. That's called getting your prescription refilled. Okay, guys, I will talk to you soon. I've got some things I've got to take care of, and I'm about to make myself a cup of coffee. Also, on a note, when you're sending messages to me, I had to, for my own sanity and ability to sleep, I had to, I've got my phone where I think it's, I do not receive phone calls or messages, or notifications between midnight and I think around 9 a.m. However, if it is an emergency, you should receive a message saying that I'm not receiving your messages until a certain time. But if there's an emergency, there is a way to break that. I think it's 3 phone calls in a row. And then my phone will actually ring. So, because I was concerned about doing that, because it's like, what if something happens with my family, and I'm needed, or a friend or whatever, has an emergency and I'm needed. So, okay, I'm going to wrap this up. More to come. I can't wait to share all this with you, in hard facts, so that other stroke victims can recover quicker, And I also have every intention of finding a stroke specialist and sharing my experience so that they can utilize some of the tools that has gotten me to where I am. And I've just, there's so much that is on the table for me. And I would never take this stroke back because it's taken away all of my worry, I'm like so calm, and things that would typically really upset me don't. I have like I'm covered in love and light, and I am constantly sending it back. So we got a lot to go through. Ellen, I've got a lot to catch you up with. Working on a podcast with really cool cat. Um, I am also obviously with the YouTube channel, Instagram. There is 2 different series that's available on Instagram, and then I am a consultant for a company that is being built from the ground up, and I am working on that. So I have a lot of projects going on, which I'm so much better when I'm multitasking. Tell me I only have one thing to do for the day, and I'll procrastinate. Give me 100 things to do today for the day, and not only will they get done, but they'll be done like to perfection. So we all work in different ways. All right, wrapping it up. Love you guys very much. Got a lot to share. Make every day count. Don't take anything for granted. And see you soon. God bless.